Hey everyone, Eloise Ansell here. I'm a intuitive healer based in the UK, and welcome to Clinic Chats. This week, I've just sat down and gone, what does everyone need to know about? And I just got one word: comparison. So, comparison, kind of comparing ourselves to others, I guess, is where we're going. I was teaching Access Consciousness bars yesterday, and we were talking a lot about judging ourselves and comparing ourselves to others. It's always a topic that comes up in that class. And we all look at other people sometimes as like reference points. It's like, oh, they're getting further ahead in their business than I am, or, oh, look, they're married with children and they're younger than me and I haven't done that yet. We can observe a lot of things. But if we get into kind of that judgment comparison edge where we're judging ourselves because we're not like someone else, then we really get into sticky stuff. We are all different and unique. Newsflash. And, and we really need to acknowledge that we're all going to have different life paths. We're not all going to have 2.4 children and the white picket fence and all the rest of it. We live in different places, we have different families, we have different religions, we have different views on the world, and we have different experiences. So it's going to shape and mold us into a very unique being. So, how can we ever compare ourselves to anyone else? We were talking yesterday about, watching YouTubers. Or was it yesterday? At some point, someone this week, the last couple of days, said to me, I was watching these YouTubers and they're all young and they're all going on holiday and they're all having a wonderful time. And I'm like, yeah, you don't see the rest of their lives. And, it's a very thin snapshot of what we might view on social media of someone's life. With me, you just see me sitting down chatting every week. At some point you might see a bit more of it, but it's like, it's not always, good for the brand to show everything going on in your life, warts and all. Now, I'm more open to doing that, and it kind of fits with, me and my business to do that. So if you hang around, you might hear some comedy from my life, but it's it can really get us stuck when we do that comparison energy. Where am I against other people? Where are other people compared to me? With that energy of judging self. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, always says, every time you judge yourself, you're putting evil into the world. And I just get that more and more the more I reflect on it. Now, you may go, evil, that's a bit of a harsh word, Eloise, but it's that energy. And everything's energy. We are projecting into the world energy every day. And yeah, this is why we like some people and not so much other people. Because what they're projecting and who they be, we're gonna like some people more than others. And people are gonna like us, some of us more than others. If you're watching my videos, you probably like the energy I'm putting out. And so, like, we can't compare ourselves to others because all of that baggage, all of the history we have, all of our experience, all of our makeup forms who we be in that moment and what we do and what shows up for us. And if you spend your whole life comparing yourself to others, you're not going to allow yourself to be something completely different, which might be you changing the world. We don't know. Like, you can't change the world being the same as everyone else. So some people just have to be different. And we are all different. So we have to, even though we're having a common experience and we have like things that we all do normally, like going to school and things like that, we are all different and we are all shaped different. And that comparison energy just gets us stuck. And that judgment just fills us with just this stuck, like heavy energy. It's really kind of contracted, and we really want to expand and just be us. So getting to the space where you really don't give a beep what anyone thinks of you, and you don't really give a beep about what anyone else does. It's kind of interesting. I find it fascinating where some like my friends do things and I'm like, oh, okay. And like I don't get triggered. But a normal person would get triggered. So they spend ages like apologizing or like pointing out why they did something because they think I was triggered. Because a normal person would be triggered and I'm like, I really don't give a beep. It's I don't take it personally. It's just like really funny. But people don't expect that. They expect me to get triggered or, have a certain reaction because that's kind of how we're programmed to react to things. And we can expect everybody to do what we do. And we do try and navigate life that way sometimes. And sometimes we become other people to understand their model of the world, and that's a whole nother story. But have a look at where you're comparing yourself, you were, to comparing yourself, would be a better word, where you're comparing yourself to others. How is that showing up for you? And is it actually contributing? Is it helping you? I bet not. Sometimes we can go, oh, they're doing that. I want to do that too. And it actually inspires us and it gets us excited. But that doesn't feel like comparison. That feels like, ooh, I'm inspired by something. So, there are, like, I'm talking about like a certain energy that we're getting to here when we're really in that stuckness of comparison and judgment, either of self or others. It's wasted energy. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's not going to help and contribute to you. And it stops us in our tracks somewhere, and sometimes and stops us moving forward. And yeah, who would you be if you never judged anyone and you never judged yourself and you lived in a world where you didn't compare yourself to others? It would be fun. Guarantee that. It'd be a lot less charge and stuckness. So have a look at where you're kind of sticking yourself, where you are comparing yourself to others, and ask, is this comparison actually helping me? Is there something from it that I'm getting? Because if there is something that it's giving you, you're going to keep doing it. So if you have that aha or that awareness, then that can help move you forward. Or just instead go, hey, what do I want instead? Ignoring everyone else and what everyone in society thinks I should do. What do I want to do? We can get into like there's so many like kind of rules for what you should do in life. It's like buying a home. I used to own my own home and I got rid of it because it didn't fit me. It didn't fit how I was living my life. Um, I just didn't want to live in that area anymore. And I was just like, hey, I want to be able to up sticks whenever I want and move. And did that for a little while, just tried a few places out. And I've ended up staying where I am for a bit. But I might move tomorrow. And I can. That's the fun thing. So, I've gone against the grain. I sold my house and I don't own anywhere. And use the money for some fun. And, that is very taboo. Like, people think that's really, like, weird. And it's like, well, just works for me. And that's the thing, it's working out what works for you. I don't care what people think. I just do what works for me. I'm not hurting anyone. So have a look at where you're comparing yourself to others. Have a look about what you want instead of what you think you should have if you're looking at everybody in society and what's socially acceptable and expected of you. And, that can really bring some peace to you as well as in terms of honoring your choices and not, if you make a choice, you go with it and you don't spend years regretting it or going, oh, did I do the right thing? It's like, well, that's what I've done. Move on. Anyway, thoughts, comments, put them in the chats below. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, share that as well. That'll be fun. And I will catch up with you next week. Okay.